when the game started last night, after seeing this team put out, yes, this team up here, after seeing that put out by Celtic, and you sit down and put the telly on, and then Yang comes out, and I'm thinking, it's about 10 minutes into the game, and I'm like, where is Kuhn? How is Yang on the pitch? And I thought, I've put the wrong team up. I'm saying to the missus, I've put the wrong team up on the screen somehow. But anyway, Yang had the game of his life for Celtic. Nico Kuhn pulls up with a thigh strain. At half-time on Celtic TV, it was Peter Grant who got some footage of what actually happened to Nico Kuhn, and he said he's rubbing the top of his thigh. It was probably a potential thigh strain. It's maybe been the cold weather that he's felt it tightening up just that little bit, and he's thought, nah, this isn't worth it. Peter Grant then went on to say if he had played on, and it's a fair play by the player himself, because a lot of players can sometimes just go, that'll be fine, I'll run it off, and then they end up pulling a thigh strain, pulling a hamstring, and they'll be out for up to 6.5 weeks. We hope when they have the scans today, and when they have a look at today, hopefully he's been put on ice, and then it's a couple of days rest, and he should be okay, because we've got some important games coming up, and especially the one in the Champions League. There's 2 must-win games this month that Brendan Rodgers will know. I mean, every game in the league is a must-win, but when we have Kilmarnock at Celtic Park for the Scottish Cup, that's a must-win game to make sure that we get through the next round of the Scottish Cup on our quest for a potential treble. We do have one hand on the trophy, let's face it. In the SPFL, we're 16 points clear. We are 16 points clear at the top of the league, looking down on everyone else. And it's a fantastic place to be. It's a fantastic position to be. If you were told at the beginning of the season that coming into the 9th of January, you'd be 16 points clear, you would bite people's hand off. We never ever thought it would be as big a gap as what it is this season, with all the noises coming out of the other side of Glasgow. But Celtic just keep on doing what they do, and that's what's good about this team and Brendan Rodgers. Yes, we can bemoan some of the players not being to a level of other players, and Brendan Rodgers and the backroom staff will see that. But the fans over the last couple of weeks have been singing about ex-players, and last night was no different. Yes, the likes of Arthur Borage, like Henrik Larsson, Jota, Musin Dembele, all got songs sang about them last night again. Even the famous Martin O'Neill song came to fruition once again. And then as the songbook turned to Kieran Tierney, the manager turns with a little smile on his face when asked about the question last night. Yes, what did you ultimately think about the songbook last night? Brendan, tell us what you think, Brendan. Come on, tell us what you think about the songbook. And this was his reply.
It was just the kit man. He was the only one that missed out, I think, tonight. But listen.
It is what it is, you know, and Brendan Rodgers knows the Celtic support. In a bygone time, in a bygone era, and a long time ago, in a distant galaxy far away in the 1990s, when Celtic weren't as good as what they were, and they weren't the dominant force in Scottish football, Celtic fans used to sing, "Always look on the bright side of life." Yes, it was a song from a TV programme, and it was to just see the funny side of football, and that's what the Celtic fans were doing last night. They were letting the manager know that they can sing what they want, and at the same time, do you know what? There's more important things in life than somebody spitting them out because of a song. And I think that when Brendan Rodgers looked back on that interview where he got a little bit tetchy about Kieran Tierney's song coming out, well, last night he just laughed it off.
It's all part of the dance here, isn't it?
Yep.
So, listen, my job is to put the best team on the pitch and win consistently, and then everyone can smile.
Yes, and everyone can smile. We're 16 points ahead at the top of the league. And Brendan Rodgers did speak about Nico Kuhn also after the game, and this is what he had to say about Nico, which was basically confirming what Peter Grant had told us.
There's going to be a load of games coming up between now and the end of January, and I know you had to make a late call with Nicholas Kuhn. Is there anything that you can give us by way of an update of him dropping out last week?
Nothing yet. No, he felt something at the top of his thigh, which was a shame. But yeah, we'll have to see what that is and how that shows up tomorrow. So, but yeah, it's busy schedule, so we recover and get ready now for the second game.
Well done again tonight, Brendan.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, there's another game. The games are coming thick and fast this January. We hope that Nico Kuhn is okay. As you say, he is a massive
No creaste
massive,
tu negocio
massive
para
player
contabilizar gastos.
for, wait a minute, where's
Sino
that
para hacer
noise
la
coming
mejor
from?
focaccia.
Damn Celtic. There's a lot of games to come in January, and a lot of important games. When you look at the way that we've went so far, losing one game in January is not the be all and end all of January. It was disappointing to lose that game away from home with no away fans. And let's hope it is the last time that nonsense, and we can get back to having away fans at that potential, that one fixture. We then went on to St Mirren. We won that one 3-0 yesterday. We've won 2-0. There's been 2 clean sheets again, which is fantastic for clean sheet Kasper Schmeichel. We were doing fine up until the Sevco game, I would say. We done okay. The final took care of itself. That ended up going to penalties. But now that we are in January, we obviously have Ross County this weekend. It's going to be a bus trip up to Ross County. I think that Kuhn will be left out for that one. I don't think Kuhn will be... He'll be sent up. The downside is with Celtic and Scottish footballers, they've got to get the buses everywhere, and that's a long trip. A trip like that in Spain, the teams in Spain tend to fly everywhere. They don't do bus trips to games. They do they fly into in every city. But anyway, it is what it is. Ross County away this weekend. It is a 1:30 kick-off, I think, if I remember right. Dundee, no, it's a 12:30 kick-off. 12:30 kick-off. It'll be 12:30 kick-off. I think I'll probably get corrected in the comment section as always. Dundee then is the next game away to Dundee, and then it is the Scottish Cup. I know that one. That is on the 18th of January, the Scottish Cup game, and that's an important game at Celtic Park. Will it be a sellout? And people going on about the attendance last night. Listen, it was -5 at the game last night. It was -4 before the game started. You're not going to drag the kids out, and you're not going to, older people aren't going to go out to sit on a plastic seat in -4 and watch a game of football. So let's put it into perspective. So and hats off to every single person that braved sitting on a plastic seat in -5 to watch Celtic. Hats off to every single one of them. I've been there and done it myself over the years, and I can remember one game where it was actually -10 on a weekday night, and you're sitting on a plastic seat, freezing your chacks off, and the last thing you want to do is sit and sing because it's that cold. But anyway, hats off to everyone who did attend the match last night, and let's put it into perspective. It was a cold night last night, and Celtic also had the game on pay-per-view. They also had the game on pay-per-view for $5.99. So you've got travel to the game, you've then got something to eat at the game. You've got to get there after work, you've got to get something to eat. So all that expense in January, and we don't usually have as many games in January. We've got a couple of Champions League games coming up. I know people that will be going to both Champions League games. We've got the extra expense of the Scottish Cup game at Celtic Park. And people want to go to that because when you go to the home ticket cup scheme, when you're part of that, you've got a chance of getting to the Scottish Cup final if we get to it. There's a lot of games in January, which we're not used to at Celtic. We've had the winter break over the last couple of years, which gives fans a bit of breathing space after Christmas. And after spending vast amount of money going to the football during December. It's just like a December now in January this year, which is unbelievable football-wise for Celtic and Celtic fans, because we're getting as much football as we can. But, look at the financial implications and the weather that was entailed last night. So hats off to everyone that did attend the game. And for people sitting on their couch saying, the attendance was rubbish, man, look at that. Grow up. Anyway, Callum McGregor was also asked about the game last night, and the man of the match, Arne Engels. And all those haters a couple of weeks ago for Arne Engels, where are you now? Can't see you.
Yeah, they're all valuable, especially over this period. A lot of games, a lot of hard work going in, so it's important to keep winning and picking up as goals as you can and clean sheets as well. So
yep.
A satisfying night, probably could have a couple more, but really good work ethic from the team again. All the principles that we look for was there.
It was. I mean, Callum's right. When you look at the way that the game played out, I mean, I said at the beginning of the video, they're sitting in the middle part of the pitch. They're saying to Celtic, you come and break us down. It's a new style of football that people are playing against us. It's not the back four. Everything that Brendan Rodgers spoke about before the game, that the ball coming back to the pivot for them to look at a different way of attack to try and break down the team. It all happened. It was like a training match for Celtic. Let's face it, it was like a training match for Celtic. Until teams Dundee United did do it in the second half. They decided to have a little bit of a go, and when they did, it opened up the game a bit. Yes, and it was easier on the eye as a football match. And I think this is what frustrates Celtic fans. They're not actually frustrated with Celtic, they're actually frustrated with the standard of football from opposition teams. But they're not going to take it out on the opposition team, they're going to take it out on their own team. And they then take it out on the team saying, oh, it's crap football, it's side-to-side stuff. Well, you've got to play what's in front of you. And this is the thing that Brendan Rodgers tries to get over, and it's things that I spoke about with my brother and stuff, who's played football at a decent level, and anybody that knows the game. You know, you've got to play what's in front of you. You can't play fast attacking football if the team that you're playing against is just going to sit on the other side of the halfway line and sit in a really narrow block on the pitch. Anyway, it is what it is. What about Arne Engels, Callum?
I was going to ask about this time of year in particular. Does there come a point where making sure you have the 3 points has to be number one priority? Because it's not easy with the games coming and sticking fast and the conditions deteriorating.
Yeah, well, that's it. You've got all those factors. There's a lot of games, like you said, everything you mentioned there. But the one thing that can't change is the mentality of the team and how hard we work and how hard we work for each other. So again, that's there to see tonight. Clean sheet mentality, and it always gives you a chance of winning games, and that's what it's about at this period in the season.
It was interesting, they talked about clean sheet mentality, because the Dundee United commentators before the game, my Celtic TV was running about 2 minutes behind, so I watched the commentary, the first half on Dundee United TV, and the commentators were actually laughing during the game. They're like, has Kasper Schmeichel got his fourth touch? And the other commentator went, yeah, from a pass back. So even they were finding the funny side of the game and realising that, you know, their team were kind of camped in and not being able to do anything. So sometimes football fans really need to see the funny side of life.
One man that's been shown a fantastic mentality, Arne. I'll first of all ask you how accustomed you're becoming to playing matches almost every 2-3 days here in Scotland, and you seem to be enjoying and improving with each performance here at Celtic Park.
Yeah, it's really busy. Like you said, every 3 days is a game, but I enjoy it really hard, and I think with this team it's amazing to play those games, and you see that we are working really hard and also every day so to recover our bodies, and that are we doing really well.
Yeah, that's it, recover the bodies, because you think about it, today, recovery day, and then tomorrow, it's a case of come back in, get to training, and then get the bus up to Dingwall. Well, they've got the bus to Inverness, they stay in Inverness, Celtic, don't they? Up to Inverness, hotel in Inverness, and then up to Dingwall for the Saturday game. It is a grueling schedule when you look at it, and people say, they're only playing football. When you look at the way that Arne Engels has, the performance that he put in last night, and the performance that he's put on in the last couple of games, when you look at them getting all over the pitch, he's definitely coming into a player that we saw the potential for, and the big price tag. I mean, the price tag means nothing to me really when you look at it, because in the bigger, wider realms of the Champions League, we've played against teams and we've been in and around teams that have spent 1.3 billion that have been below us in the Champions League. Yes, there was one team that spent 1.3 billion, sounding like Trump, don't I? 1.3 billion on their squad. And you put that into perspective, we spend £11 million £11 million on a player, and we expect him to be godlike almost instantly, coming from a different country and only being 21 years old. When you look at the fact that Atalanta are now on the radar of Arne Engels, they know that ultimately Arne Engels will be sold for big money, and so do Celtic. I hope that we can keep a hold of Arne Engels for some time to come, because when you look at some of the passes that he was making last night across in front of goal, I'm going to say it again, if we were to play two strikers in the middle, we would be terrorising teams just now. But you do not have two strikers. Well, we do have two strikers we can play, but we don't have a backup. And there lies the problem that Brendan Rodgers does have with the squad at the moment. We don't have a third choice keeper. If you're going to play a 3-5-2, I would say that you would need a really good third choice striker and someone coming through the youth ranks that can step up for a fourth place striker. I think that we do need that, but we don't at the club. So who would you take off the bench, for instance, if you do Brian another striker? When you look at that bench last night, and the fact that, you know, you had Scales, you had Louis Palma, you had Kyogo, you had Alex Baye, you had Yang. Well, Yang actually started the game, so you were a man down on the bench straight away. You had Paulo Bernardo, Hatate and Ralston. Who do you drop off that team? Who do you drop off that who do you keep off the bench to then bring in another striker? Because you've got one player for every position on the pitch. And it showed how weak the team potentially is. Yeah, it did show how weak the team potentially is when you look at the fact that we had to bring on Rio as a winger at one point last night. The squad isn't as strong as what we thought it was. And I think that is the bit of a worry, and that's why Brendan Rodgers wants to strengthen the squad so much between now and the end of the January transfer window.
And are you happy with the influence that you're now having on the pitch? I know you're picking up Man of the Match awards, but they've been thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, I'm trying my best, but the most important thing is the 3 points, like we said. We are moving so quickly and the games are coming so quickly that it's really important to just keep on doing the qualities and doing what you need to do, and I'm really happy to help the team with that.
And Callum, how influential have you found Arne has been over recent weeks? And also need to give a nod to Daizen Maeda. He's got a goal and assist tonight. He just powers on through these games.
Yeah, exactly. These games every 3 days are made for him. He just loves running. He loves working hard for the team, and his quality's there to see as well. Always chipping in with goals and assists. But this guy's been fantastic since he walked through the door. Big price tag, big expectation, and he's handled it so well. Yeah. He's such a down to earth kid as well, and he just wants to work hard, and you've seen that. He just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
I'm glad Callum said that, just a down to earth kid, because he is just a kid. He's only 21-year-old, you know what I mean? And we've got such high expectations on a player that comes in with the big price tag to Celtic. If he'd came in for 1 million like Luke McCown, nobody would bat an eyelid. You know, if he'd came in for a similar amount of money as Matt O'Reilly, nobody would bat an eyelid. You've got to remember, Matt O'Reilly couldn't get near the team when he first came into Celtic. Arne Engels has got a couple of players that's fighting with him for positions, but quality always shines through.
A pleasure to play with him, and he's a team player, which is brilliant, and you need that at Celtic as well. So really happy for him, making brilliant strides, top player, and he just keeps going, so it's excellent.
Well, the way things are going, you're going to have to build a wine cellar because you've won another bottle of champagne, so congratulations, Callum, if you can do the honours. Daft Bet Man of the Match, Arne Engels. Well done, guys.
Easy start, it's picking him.
Easy start, just picked them. Oh, Jesus. You got to love Callum McGregor, loving life at Celtic, and so you should be. When you look at that table this morning, when you look at the league table, there it is, Celtic sitting minus 16 in Govan. How cold is it where you are this morning? Have you got any snow? Is it heavy snow where you are? Is it freezing cold outside? Tell me in the comments. And yeah, it's not a bad position to be in. 16 points ahead at this time of the year. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are, Celtic fans all around the world.